Hello, everybody. It's a fucking American. For all you international motherfuckers, this grocery's for you. It's my first beer in 2 weeks or so. I got 7 records. So what does that mean? That means another Vinyl Finds video. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Vintage Audiophile. I would like everybody to subscribe to him, please. Deadwax66 does the live streams on Fridays, which are pretty entertaining. I try to make it, I don't always, and sometimes I check in and then I have to check out. I work nights, so he's doing them usually when I'm taking a nap before I go to work. But Saturdays have kind of fallen by the wayside. Psyche Derek, he's got his girlfriend, so you know, he's busy. So I'm nominating Vintage Audiophile to be our live stream guy for Saturday. Or he can do a midweek one, you know, whatever the fuck. But you need 1,000 subs to be able to do it on your phone. Now, some people think that's a stupid rule, but the reason YouTube did that is because of that asshole mass shooting in Australia where the guy was filming with his phone and he went into a mosque and just wiped out people. And so I understand why they did it. You know, they figure if you have 1,000 subs, you're less likely to be some wanker that just makes a channel and goes out and does some shit. So I understand the reason, but even if you don't, he's not going to be for everybody, just like I'm not for everybody. Check him out. He's a very down-to-earth guy. He's in his garage talking shit, which is what I like to do. And I think a lot of you will like him. But even if you don't, subscribe him so we can get him to 1,000 subs so he can start doing live streams. Vintage Audiophile. I think him and Hannah have a thing going on too, you know? Don't be surprised if Hannah moves down south to, I don't know, Louisiana or some fucking place. Starts a 3rd channel. You can tell there's a little bit of love-hate going on there. The other thing is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no rules in the VC. And, you know, but I try to be cordial. I mean, I'm an asshole, but god damn, I saw the hippie DJ Kit, dude. You're gonna have to change your name, man. The Hippie Angry Kit. Man, his last video was pretty angry. And it was all directed at me. It was, kind of blew me away. You know, I subscribe to him. I get notified. He's one of the channels that I get notified when he makes a video. I watch almost all his videos. I don't always comment. But goddamn, I must have pissed him off mighty bad. I haven't had that much anger and hatred directed at me since I was with my ex-wife. It was fucking weird. And some of the shit he said, it's, I don't know. I mean, he started it out and it was kind of coherent, but it devolved into, man, threats. I mean, I think he ended the video like, oh, fuck your mother, and fucking America, fucking America. He said that like 6 times and then the video was over. But anyways, you know, whatever, dude. It's all good. I don't care. If it was a coworker, someone in my family, or one of my neighbors, maybe I'd be a little concerned. But this is the VC. It's not really real. I mean, the VC is a thing, but it's not real, dudes. And to get that angry over it, to me, doesn't make that much sense. I don't take this shit that serious. I'm just making these videos to have fun. And that's it. And if it gets somebody that angry, well, I'm not going to worry about it. But I decided I'm not going to just let it sit there either. I'm going to address it. I mean, he started coming out like saying, "Oh, I think I'm Mr. Punk Rock of the VC." I don't think anything, dude. I like punk rock. The last 6, 9 months, I've been listening to a lot of punk rock. I go through stages. Before that, I was listening to a lot of psych, and before that, I was on a garage rock kick for 6 months straight. So I kind of cycle. Once in a while, I'll throw a Miles Davis in there, but pretty much, I've been listening to punk rock a lot. And the other thing he mentioned about the 2,000 subs. Oh, I think I'm all that because I have 2,000. I have never once, ever asked for someone to sub me. Never. If you want to sub me, sub me. If you don't, don't. I've had 2 contests, and I didn't ask. You didn't even have to be subbed to enter the contest. In one of them, you didn't even have to make a video. I put it at the end of my Red Cross. I showed all my Red Cross records, and at the very end of that, I talked about my contest, and I asked people not to say anything in the comments. They just had to, I gave them some instructions to do, make a comment on an old video, and once they did that, I think it was something about Miles Davis. They had to make a comment about Miles Davis on this old video I made. And that way, if you didn't watch the Red Cross video all the way through, you're not even going to know about it. So, I mean, doing these contests is a good way for new channels to get more subs. I never went that route. But, whatever, man. I don't know. It was a weird video. As soon as I made a comment on his, which it was not a negative comment, I noticed an hour later it was deleted. But anyways, it's all good, hippie. But you might want to change your name. This first one I went to Lovell's Records in Whittier Wednesday, and I bought these 2 albums here. And this one is the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. I did not have a good copy of this. Now, I usually leave my shrink wrap on. But if you look here, it is a little tight. You can see it's kind of grabbing it. I might take the shrink wrap off of this one. Or I'll leave the record outside of the record. I kind of wanted to leave the sticker. This is the 2016 version of Dark Side. And Naz Nomad was talking about this record. And he said this is probably the best version there is. Better than the Mo-Fi. Better than the originals. So I said, you know what, that's good enough for me. I've bought, I think, 2 Dark Sides since I've been buying records again. And they were just, they were noisy. And the other ones that I've seen, they're either thrashed or they're too expensive. I'm not going to pay a lot of money for an album that they made millions upon. I mean, this was one of the biggest selling records of all time. But yeah, this is a good record, a great record. And this is a great pressing of it. The 2016, I might go ahead and get the Wish You Were Here. I don't have that. I don't have Animals either, but they had a version of I Wish You Were Here. And I might get that. Because these 2016 pressings are good. That's another thing I wanted to address. Someone asked me, are these new pressings, are they good? Or is it better to get originals? And it all depends. I'm not what you would call an audiophile. I listen to a lot of noisy, loud music, and once the music starts, if there is some crackling, you can't hear it, But on jazz records or quiet records, the popping, excessive popping, I just get rid of the record. And I think maybe in some cases the originals might be better presses, but it's not always the case, as in this. A lot of the punk ones that I buy, there's only 500 to 1,000 press, so they're not mass produced. I think a lot of the commercial stuff is mass produced, and it's probably the quality control is not there. But that was the case back in the 60s and 70s to a large extent too. They didn't give a shit, you know, just buy the records. Yeah, this thing comes with a poster, which is a wanker poster, some postcards. I'm not going to show them. And it's on black vinyl. Nice sleeves. And cool label. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. This is a phenomenal pressing. So yeah, sometimes the new pressings are better. I would say the Bowie reissues, they're better than the originals. At least the US originals. The other album I bought there was The Smell of Female. What is it? Real Men's Guts versus The Smell of Female, Volume 1. It's the Cramps Live. I had Volume 2. I had never seen Volume 1, so I had to get it. And this is from the Peppermint Lounge. They did 2 sets. I guess this is the first set, and then Volume 2 was the later evening set. This is the one. They made that one record, Smell of Female. They took highlights from both shows, and these are the complete shows. Really cool shit. And the label and the vinyl is exactly the same as the other volume. So yeah, I don't really need any more Cramp stuff. But if something pops up that looks good, I'll probably get it. But yeah, I definitely wanted this one. I did a Cramps video a while back, and I was thinking of redoing another one. In fact, I was thinking about redoing some of my old videos. Nobody watches them anymore. They weren't. I think I could do a better job now. I mean, Hollywood reboots shit all the time. You know, why can't Vinyl Rich? Now we got a couple of records that are demo tapes, actually. This is the Beatles. Oh man, hold on. Sorry about that. Man, how unprofessional. I just got this in the mail yesterday. The Beatles England by our very own Norman Maslov. It's a pretty good book, you know. It goes through different places and things. I paid, I think it was $4.25 for this on eBay. I didn't really notice it, but man, it looks like somebody smoked crack with this thing, and it's like burnt right here. But other than that, it's pretty good. I mean, it's excellent other than that. And I got a autograph, Norman Maslov autograph from 1982. How cool is that, man? To Carol, burnt out and secondhand, but still the Beatles. Right on, brother. Anyways, the Beatles, the Decca tapes. I've always wanted this. I've seen a couple of copies. It was the same cover, but I think it was different labels. And this one, fucking cleaner than shit, so I bought it. It's got all the 13 songs, is it? Whatever. And it's got the untold story of the Decca tapes right here. Really great write-up. And it was like, man, I didn't know that. You know, I'm reading all this shit and I go, fuck, I didn't know that, you know. I didn't know George was the main singer of the Beatles early on. All this different shit about the recording sessions. And then at the end it says, no, the untold story of the Decca tapes is a work of historical fiction. Oh, that's great, dude. That is fucking funny. And it's obviously a boot. Plain white labels on black vinyl. But my Beatles collection is complete. No, it's really not. I have a lot of holes. And I don't mind. See? Every time I make a video, fucking Coco. I think that dog needs to go see a psychiatrist, dude. And this next album is demos. It's New York Dolls, A Hard Night's Day, Unsigned, Unhinged, legendary 1973 studio demos, recorded in London. It's a double album. It's got their whole set they did. I guess it was all day or all night. I don't know. But fuck, it's great, dude. It's got like 20 songs. 21 songs. And they weren't signed. They were recording in London. they were partying over there, and the drummer, the original drummer, Billy Murcia, died from a drug-related death, and the management grabbed up the rest and flew them out before the authorities could get hip to what was going on. And really fucking good rockin' versions of their songs. And I highly recommend this. Flipside CT showed this probably about a year ago, and it was on my radar, and I saw a really good priced, like I think it was $28. I go, for a double album, recommended by Flipside CT, I'm gonna pick it up. And they're on really cool labels, on really cool red vinyl. But yeah, that's a good listen, man. It's a good companion piece to their first two albums. Highly recommend. Newark Dolls, A Hard Night's Day. And this third one is more demos. The Butthole Surfers, demos 1983. And I believe these actually might be 1982 demos, but whatever. So 45 RPM. Side 1's got 3 songs. Side 2's got 3 songs. White, Dumb, Ugly and Poor. Matchstick. Fucking cool shit. Barbecue Pope. Stuff that was on their first album. But yeah, this is really good. The Butthole Surfers, one of my favorite bands from the 80s. And it's on this really wild vinyl. That's pretty cool shit. Pretty plain labels. Pretty wild vinyl. But yeah, 3 albums of demos there, and they're all really cool shit. This next one is an album, came out in 2019. I did not include it in my best albums of 2019 because I didn't know about it. It's Red Cross's album, Beyond the Door. And it's really, really good. The first song, The Party, it's kind of different than anything I've heard them do. So I was thinking, oh, I might not like this album. But then they kind of went into regular Red Cross form. And then the first song I cite too is The Party Underground. And it also is like, this is different. But then the other ones are, it's a good mixture of punk, power pop, just a really good, I don't know, man. I've always had a soft spot for Red Cross, and I'm glad to have gotten that. I've only spun it a couple times. I ordered this 6 weeks ago, and on eBay, and it was the purple vinyl, and then about 2 weeks later, he sends me a note. Oh, it's not actually the purple vinyl, it's the black vinyl. And I go, that's fine, because it was very cheap. And this is what the labels look like, pretty plain. And then it took about a month before I got it. Kind of weird. And this is the inner sleeve. It's got a picture of the band right here. The McDonald Brothers, and here's the McDonald Brothers here. And here's the other 2 wankers. All the lyrics. Great band. And I got one more record. Rap Music for Rap People, Volume 2. I don't know. I used to pick up some comps back in the day. I have Rap Music for Rap People, Volume 1, and I thought, it's okay. I mean, it has some great stuff, but I think if I remember right, side 1 starts off with Flipper, like an 8-minute song. And, they should have ended the side with that. But yeah, I think I actually like this one better than Volume 1. It's got DRI, the Dicks, the Minutemen, White Lie. The Butthole Surfer song is worth the price of admission alone. JFA, Fang, Big Boys, Tales of Terror, Personality Crisis. Fang is that band when I I on my vinyl tag show an album with a felon in it. It was the singer of Fang. A murderer. Fucking idiot. CD records. Original first press. I think they only made one press, actually. And this is the lyric sheet. Yeah. The Butthole Surfer song's funny, dude. I was walking down around Venice Way, Los Angeles, oh big California. A man came up to me, about 40, gay. Take care, everybody. Hey, Norman, I got your book, you wanker. Boy, the 49ers choked. They had that game. But whatever. As long as the Patriots don't win. Who knew DJ Hippie Kit was a Patriots fan, you know?